The People's Democratic Party PDP National Chairman Dr. ßL0ဋK AYU has launched what looks like his own counter-offensive against the Nyesom Wike-led G5 governors in the party ahead of next month's general election. AYU, according to an investigation by The Nation, has shredded the list of polls agents compiled by the governors and forwarded to the party's national secretariat in Abuja for onward submission to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Only party agents accredited by INEC are allowed at polling stations and collation centers. AYU's fear is that the party cannot entrust its destiny into the hands of those nominated by the dissenting governors. The Electoral Act allows every party to be represented at each of the polling booths and collation centers. The agents are required to sign the result sheets before the outcome of voting at the polling units and collation centers are announced. It was gathered that AYU and his team at the PDP National Secretariat decided to subject the list of prospective agents from the G5 and a few other states to scrutiny for what a source described as safety reason. Well, I don't understand what you are trying to drive at, but I must tell you that it is the responsibility of the National Secretariat to forward the list of party agents to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) ahead of the election, the source said. The state chapters can assist in the compilation of such lists for their states, but the decision of who does what as party agent lies with the national chairman. Don't forget the presidential candidate too may have his own preferred people in the state. The election is his own, and he should have the prerogative to choose those who will represent him as agents at the poll. Moreover, there is no way we will have the state leadership of the PDP campaign committee in place and some other people will be the ones compiling lists of agents. The arrangement is that the campaign committee oversees all elections for the party, so it is not out of place for the party to insist that all stakeholders should liaise with the PCC in their states in compiling the list of party agents. If that is what you mean by AYU rejecting some list, you need to understand that it is the normal procedure to avoid duplication of the list in question. A party source confirmed the rejection of the names of some nominees to serve as agents, but said those dropped are currently in service as government appointees. The source drew attention to the provision of the Electoral Act 2022, which prohibits government appointees from being party agents during elections. The Act, however, prescribed that such government appointees must resign their position 3 months before the election to be eligible to stand as party agents at voting centers. Sources also said AYU, in response to the list of party agents sent to the National Secretariat by PDP state leadership in the affected states, urged them to work with the leadership of the campaign committees in their states for the final list. A PDP chairman in one of the South-South states said, AYU made it clear it is the list from the campaign committee that will be profiled and sent to INEC by the National Working Committee. The decision is unusual as it has always been the state executive that compile and send agents lists to Abuja. We see this as an attempt to undermine the leadership of the party in our state, and we understand where it is all coming from. The Nation also gathered that the aggrieved governors and their supporters are displeased with AYU's alleged decision on the matter and are poised for a showdown. An aide to one of the G5 governors said, "There's no way we'll leave our destiny in their hands when we know AYU is not wishing us well. If they want to nominate the party agents that will work during the presidential election, no problem, since they no longer trust the people in charge in the state. But how can they also reject our list for other elections? This is where we smelled some rats." Governor Samuel Ortom Benue, Seyi Makinde Oyo, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, Enugu, and Okezi Ikpezu, Abia, are also in the G5. They want AYU to quit as chairman on the premise that it is against the spirit of the PDP constitution for a section of the country to have the presidential candidate and the national chairman at the same time. They have excused themselves from Atiku's campaign. Atiku's campaign chairman, Udom, meets WIKE and Autumn in Rivers. The chairman of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council and Akwa Ibom State Governor Emmanuel Udom yesterday met with Rivers State Governor WIKE and Benue State Governor Autumn at the Room Breton Country Home of WIKE in Obio Akpo. Details of the meeting were not disclosed, but it came 24 hours after the dissenting governors returned from their latest strategic meeting in London. Udo, according to a political source in Port Harcourt, was in town to pacify the G5 governors to join the Atiku campaign train. The campaign council was said to be bothered about WIKE's continuous outbursts, which were daily weakening the PDP's presidential campaign and reducing the personality of Atiku in the eyes of members of the public. The G5's insisting that they would not work for Atiku was reinforced on Friday shortly after the aggrieved governors returned from their London trip. WIKE had earlier set aside January 2023 to declare his preferred presidential candidate and mobilize support for him ahead of the 2023 poll. The Rivers governor said on Friday that the PDP national chairmanship position must be ceded to the South as a minimum requirement for peace was not negotiable. Udom, WIKE, and Autumn told reporters at the end of yesterday's meeting that it was devoid of politics. WIKE said his relationship with Udom had not diminished regardless of their opposing stance on Atiku. He stressed that, ideally, politics should never be allowed to create unwarranted friction between brothers. He said, "Politics is not what would divide brothers and divide friends. Everybody knows my relationship with Udom and will continue to maintain that relationship. We may have different political affiliation or thinking. That should not divide the brotherly love or create a gap among us." Udom explained that his visit was not political but a demonstration of brotherly love in the spirit of the Yuletide season. He said, "Actually, this is the season of love. Within this period, if we don't demonstrate that love not shown is love wasted. I think that is what we are trying to demonstrate, brotherly love, friendship. And then in the spirit of the season, we must visit one another." Autumn said part of their discussion also centered on how they could best add value to governance in Nigeria. He said, "We're going into 2023 and we shared among ourselves how we can best add value to our government, how we can best add value to our people, how we can do things that will add value to our country, Nigeria. And if there are any issues in the past which we have done wrong, we look at them and said, look, let's forgive one another and move forward. They are private issues." PDP crisis. AYU fights back, blocks G5 governors nominees for poll duties. It's getting intense, getting interesting. Well, guys, leave us your take. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again on more updates. Bye.